Even though the Herr Sprint Series has run 2 races already, this is the event that these drivers have had circled on their calendars from the beginning of the year. An opportunity to race in the Great American Race this Sunday presents itself here tonight as these 24 drivers run 25 laps here at the World Center of Racing, the Daytona International Speedway. This is the 3rd race of the season in the 2024 Herr Sprint Series. It's Sprint Series Night in America at Daytona. This is the Daytona 250, and an opportunity to run in the Daytona 500 presents itself to most of these drivers in the field here tonight in Central Florida. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to Daytona. It is finally here. We are ramping up the anticipation for Sunday's Daytona 500, but tonight's event, a huge part to that Daytona 500 because these guys have an opportunity at running in the Great American Race, and with the ratings still very early on in the stages of the Wawa Cup Series, whoever's in that Daytona 500 will have an excellent opportunity at getting the biggest win of the season in the Wawa Cup Series. But tonight, it's the Herr Sprint Series. This essentially acts as our dual race in a way. Most of these drivers are eligible to run in the Daytona 500. Not all of them, of course, as some of them are owners. But it's going to be very interesting to see which 4 of these guys will run on Sunday in the Great American Race. You're alongside Nathan Stapleton for the call up tonight's event. And Nathan, it's a big deal on Sunday. Winning the Daytona 500 is a huge milestone victory if you can pull it off. And I know these guys want to get it done, but they also want to get this win as well. This one of the biggest races of the season in the Sprint Series. What's the trick to winning here at Daytona? I don't know if it matters where you start, but there's definitely a trick to getting the victory lane here around the super speedway, don't you think?
Oh yeah, without doubt. You mentioned that it does not matter where you start, but it definitely matters you being up front towards the end and getting to victory lane and making the right move at the right time. It's a very interesting racetrack at Daytona. It's a marquee event, a marquee racetrack, and of course, like you said, most of these drivers have a shot at making it into the Daytona 500. One of the biggest events on the channel all year long, and if you can win that event, then you can cement yourself as one of the best drivers of the year. And you're gonna wait and see if who can get the job done. Gonna see some 2, 3, and maybe some dangerous 4-wide action here tonight.
And it's going to be very interesting to see how this race plays out. 25 laps. This race is twice the length as it was last year. And hey, who knows? We may see a big one here tonight. It is very possible. We might also not see a big one here tonight. We could go caution-free, which is also very possible. Last week's race went caution-free at Homestead. The driver who won that race was Eric Monaco. Well, guess what? For the 2nd week in a row, the winner of the past race is not in the next race. No Eric Monaco tonight, no Angel Olvera, so all 24 of these drivers going for their first win of the year on the channel. We're going to have to see who gets it done because a huge opportunity presents itself to run in the Daytona 500 for these guys here tonight. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all ends up shaking out. But these guys are also still in a championship for the Herr Sprint Series. And of course, we still have those 10 full-time guys. None of the full-timers have gone to victory lane yet this season. And the guy who essentially leads in the points is technically Alexander Rowe at this point. More than likely, he'll be the points leader at the end of the day. But Eric Monaco does still come into this race the points leader by 5 points ahead of Alexander Rowe. Anthony McClure, a great season. The best of the full-timers so far is 10 points behind. Aaron Abel is 11 points behind. And Vinny Scholl 16 points behind. Of course, of those guys, top 10 in points that you see on your screen, only 3 of them are not in this race here tonight. That's Eric Monaco, Angel Olvera, and then Zayden Davidson also not in this one. But the other 7 are in this race looking to get a little bit further in the point standings. Of course, still 30 races in this season, including tonight. A long way until we crown a champion at Darlington on Labor Day weekend. But the focus is on winning this race here, one of the biggest races of the season, a race victory at Daytona here tonight, and an opportunity to race in the Daytona 500. On the pole position is Alexander Rowe in the number 13. Of course, Alexander Rowe definitely a solid driver as he sits second in the championship standings, and he had the 2nd fastest time last week at Homestead, but with Eric Monaco not in this race here tonight, he gets the pole position. Yeah, Nathan Faden alongside him there. The 93 machine there, that car is driven by Vinny Scholes and Anthony McClure alongside her. You got Juan Romero and Chris Reynolds there in row number 3. And we got the number 99, that is Aaron Abel this week alongside the 25 of Michael Lewis. Santiago Labarito in the 5 alongside Andrew Williams once again in the 53. Baltazar Steep and Dylan Matthews there make up the first half of the field. The 96 machine, that is Felicity Mendoza this weekend alongside the 56 of Christian Master. Skylar Taylor in the 55, the 92 of Brandon Nelson. Herschel Alonso in the 50, and then the 90 machine of Joe Rutkowski. And then the 6 drivers who were not in last week's race, starting with the 64. That's driven by Stuart Gratton. Of course, Gratton had Aaron Bates the first couple of races. He's driving himself here tonight. Number 80 machine alongside him. That car driven by Joshua Brown. Got Corey Case in the 57, first start of the season for the Sprint Series for Corey. 69 of Avon Murray. And then we got the 4 machine of Christian Vargas, who was a driver in the Wawa Cup Series last year. Definitely a solid driver there. And the 02, first career start for Michael Young in the 02 for Triad Racing. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here from Daytona. And Alexander Rowe in the 13 machine. Of course, this car was driven by Michael Lewis the past 2 weeks. Michael Lewis has done a pretty solid job so far. But Alexander Rowe comes into this race of all the drivers in this field, highest in the championship standing. So a huge opportunity for him. And he is a past Daytona 500 champion as well. As a matter of fact, won the Daytona 500 in 2020, back in the old Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I'm sure he'd love to go back and have an opportunity at winning the Daytona 500 again, joining the likes of Josh Marzak and Zachary Fitzwater as 2-time winners of the Great American Race here on the channel. Well, Nathan, a very solid field as it has been all season long, but some newer faces in the back here. Who do you think is going to pull it off here tonight in this Daytona 250?
Well, I think it will be one of those newer faces towards the back of the field here tonight. I'm going to go with the number 57 of Corey Case. I think a little bit of an underdog, a little bit of a newer driver on the channel, I believe, and I think if there's any place for a new driver to get a win, it is Daytona.
Absolutely. Corey Case made some starts in the Rowdy Energy Pro Series. Rest in peace, Rowdy Energy, but I'm drinking one right now. I still got a few of them to get me through speed weeks here. We'll have some fun with all that. In terms of the drivers who will advance on, this order will change throughout the season in the order of the Wawa Cup Series owners' standings. So Grattan Autosport leads the owners' standings in the Wawa Cup Series going into the Daytona 500. So the number 11 will be the car driven by whoever is the highest eligible driver. Second eligible driver will be driving the 31 on Sunday. The third eligible driver will be driving the 00 for Team Williams, and then the fourth eligible driver will be in the 50 for Appalachian Motorsports. And that order will change throughout the season based on the Wawa Cup Series owners' points for those 4 teams that own a hot seat ride over there. But top 4 eligible drivers will be in. Of course, guys like Vinny Scholes, Stuart Gratton, Joe Rutkowski, Alonso, they're ineligible, but a lot of these other guys are. And an opportunity at the Daytona 500 presents itself here tonight. 25 laps, we're underway at the World Center of Racing. Alexander Rowe leads us to the green flag in the Daytona 250. And already a ton of shuffling around up front, but it's Vinny Scholes leading lap number 1 here at Daytona. Bonus point towards the championship for her, and I know she's going to be going for this Herr Sprint Series title this year. Juan Romero on the inside there for Nicholas Amadio's team. I know Nicholas would absolutely love to get the Daytona 500 win as a driver. Of course, he's done that before. Baltazar Steep on the inside, Skylar Taylor as well, and these guys are going to be close to each other all night long, and this is going to be very similar to the type of racing we will see on Sunday as well.
3x3x3 already throughout this entire 24 car pack. And this is going to be interesting what ends up happening if anyone can eventually maybe dominate the lanes here at Daytona, but so far early on that is not the case. The 88 Balthazar Steep, he's going to take the race lead away. And we don't want to see this early on here. 4 wide potentially.
Already. And we know what this can bring here. However, there is a lane on that outside for Romero to sneak up into, and we'll keep it together for now. Alonso on the inside in the 50 machine. I know he'd love to go to victory lane. And hey, you know what? He had a great run last weekend as well in the Wall Cup Series. I know he's happy about all of that right there. But I know you love to see your driver possibly go to victory lane as well, Nathan. Brandon Nelson, you're your full-timer on the inside lane. This inside lane working very well. There's your pick, Corey Case, already on the inside. And I think you're right about us possibly seeing someone dominate at some point in this race. Of course, they got to keep it from wrecking here as Corey Case moves up there on Skylar Taylor. And will the 4 machine there of Christian Vargas take an opportunity? I know he's an aggressive driver. Not going to do it right now, and they keep it together for now as Alonso leads lap 3.
Well, hopefully for Corey Case, he has the goods of mojo here tonight for my picks, because I'm 50-50. Sometimes I get them good mojo, and sometimes I give them bad mojo. But so far, it's so good going to go 3 wide for the race lead, and Brandon Nelson, he's had a solid season, I believe, at Amstel number 92. Gonna be in the middle of 3 wide at the moment. Corey Case up to second, and that 50 of Alonso, maybe he might be a guy early on to lead a couple of laps.
First driving for Appalachia Motorsports. You know, the only 2 Chevys in the field for the Herr Sprint Series are the 2 Appalachia cars. They're driven by Herr Alonso and Joe Rakowski, who are 2 very solid drivers. You see Rakowski moving his way on the inside right there. Alonso's going to lead another lap. And the 57 of Corey Case with a huge head of steam there, push from Christian Vargas on the inside lane. Of course, this was the car that won last week when Eric Monaco was driving it. Got the pass made on Alexander O on the last lap. And now Vargas driving the Titan Fury machine here at Daytona. At the 0-2, Michael Young. First career start for Michael Young. And here he is on the inside. Help from the 69 of Avon Murray. Both of these drivers making their first starts of the season. As a matter of fact, the top 4 drivers right now, all making their first starts of the season here in the Herr Sprint Series. How about that? They started in the back and they worked their way up front in 5 laps. And we'll have to see if that's something we see in the Daytona 500 on Sunday in the Wall Cup Series. Oh boy, more 4 wide. And this time, they're not going to have room to get out of it. Avon Murray goes up into Vargas. And good job out of Vargas kind of stepping out of that one and allowing the 69 getting ahead. But that's already the 3rd time we've seen a 4-wide situation almost materialize there as Rutkowski moves to the inside for the race lead. And the 80 machine right behind him there of Joshua Brown.
Of course, last week was not a good week for this 80 machine. My butt, some Burger King burgers in its home racetrack in Miami. But Joshua Brown trying to get a better one for this Burger King Ford, and he's going to lead a lap here at Daytona. As once again, almost 4 wide, 4th time in 6 laps.
Andrew Williams, Christian Master, Joe Rakowski. I remember last year, Joe Rakowski went 4 wide in the Daytona 500, and that did not end well. This might not end well here. They keep on going 4 wide. An outside lane has not had a good run so far in this race, and that is what's keeping us from wrecking, because that outside lane opens up, and that 3rd car from the inside moves up and takes the spot, gets out of the situation, and actually is going to benefit Joe Rutkowski, who gets a run on the outside lane. Christian Master, who won the Valvoline 400, by the way, last year, so he knows how to get it done here at Daytona, and recently as well. This is a driver to watch out for during the entirety of this season. Obviously one of the strongest drivers out here, especially of the full-timers. He's going to lead lap number 7.
Side draft from the 02 to the 80. I really don't want Travis's car to do that to my car. But Christian Master, a really good driver, and he's going to lead that number 7. Fantastic racing so far here at Daytona. A little bit sketchy a couple of times so far, but keeping it clean so far. And a lot of these guys are laying the guys in the middle to sort out and get up to top. So good racing so far. Good, nice, calm racing, but also crazy racing at the same time. Only on lap 8 of 25, and here comes the 7 up 64. That's Stuart Glenn, a guy I don't want to mess around with. He's going up towards the front.
And of course, Stuart Grattan, a solid driver, no doubt about it. Kind of doing a little swap here. He drives for Intersys Motor Racing here, or driving for Intersys Motor Racing, which is the team owned by Ludovic Charette, who is his driver in the Cup Series. So, no surprise to see those guys work together. Of course, I think there's Grattan Industries on that car, so no wonder Stewart signed up for it. Hey, by the way, looking forward to the Grattan Industries Cup Series that Matt's going to be doing soon. Definitely looking forward to that. You might see the channel in the server for all of that over in the Discord server, and now we're getting some single file out front here. Christian Master bringing the 80 machine of Joshua Brown with him, and Andrew Williams to the inside of Joe Rakowski there for the third position. And it's starting to even out a little bit up front here as Master continues to lead. And this was the position he was in the Valvoline 400 back in August, and he led 38 of the 40 laps in that race. You do not want this guy out front here at Daytona.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. What could happen at some point is get one of the faster cars up front. And Master is doing what he did last season in the Cup Series, and he's doing it here at Daytona. But watch out for Joe Rakowski. All by himself, he's going to take second and maybe go for the race lead. Now he has help from the 02 behind him of Young. And now we could get some interesting racing here. Master was up front for a while, but it will be Master or Rakowski leading here after lap number 10.
And a good jump there from Michael Young. Peeking down there with Joe Rutkowski. Andrew Williams is also a strong driver up in this field as well. So you got some guys who absolutely have a lot of good runs in their resume. Of course, Andrew Williams won a couple times in the Truck Series last fall. And, of course, he's an owner, so he can't drive in the 500s. A lot of these guys up front right now, Grattan and then Rutkowski as well, are ineligible to drive in the Daytona 500, so that gives an opportunity to some of these other guys. But Michael Young trying to race his way into the 500 here tonight, and he's got a good opportunity of doing so on that 02 machine for Triad Racing. His teammate there, Anthony McClure, on the inside lane. Watch out for him as he's starting to move his way up to the front. All these guys just shuffling all around, all over the place. There goes Andrew Williams looking for second on Michael Young and Christian Master as Rutkowski holds on to the race lead. He made the pass on Master there, and he made it stick as well.
Rutkowski, a pretty solid driver, and he's going to try to do what Master did and control the lane as Travis, this driver in 05, is going to try to get forward.
Oh, that's not going to work. And around goes the 02 of Michael Young, and it's the big one off the tri-oval here at Daytona. That 4 is going to take a shot to the inside wall. Balthazar Steep, Juan Romero, Stuart Grattan. Oh, where's the 4? That thing is destroyed.
Oh, no.
Christian Vargas got sent into the inside wall hard there as they shuffled around off the exit of the tri-oval. Race back to the line here at Daytona. Christian Master and Joe Rutkowski. So right in halfway, we got a 2-lap caution period here since we do not have pit stops. Oh my. Rutkowski trying to find some way around Master to win the race back. Not really any need to do so, though, because there's still going to be plenty of time for Rutkowski, but he's trying to work that outside lane. Couldn't get it. Christian Master wins the race back to the line. That's a tough one for Christian Vargas. It was great to see Vargas back. Of course, he was full-time last year in the Cup Series. Didn't have the best of runs for Durrani Racing full-time. And not a good day for the 4 team and Titan Fury. And I mean, Balthazar Steep, it's just one thing after another for him here in the Sprint Series. Of course, blew an engine in New Smyrna a couple of weeks ago and got caught up in that one. Michael Young, that's a shame for Michael Young in his first ever start getting caught up, but minimal damage on the 02. I think the only car that really got significant damage was the 4. Grattan's got a buckle on his hood. Juan Romero also caught up in that one as well, but hey, that could have been a lot worse. We'll have to see if we end up with any of these guys getting in the way of our race leaders. Always fun to see that chess match play out, the lap cars, and that may very well be a possibility here tonight if some of these guys stay out there. I don't know if that 4 is going to stay out there. Well, truly our first wreck of the season here in the Sprint Series. Hey, it took a while last year, but then again, the races were half the length last year compared to this year, so it's bound to happen at some point, and it happened right there midway through this Daytona 250 in the Herr's Sprint Series. Christian Master is your race leader. Will it be the first full-timer to get a race victory of the season? We'll find out, but first, let's see what happened to bring out the first caution of the night here, the Herr's Sprint Series at Daytona. Well, we saw multiple instances of this 4 wide, and it finally Didn't work out, and this isn't really even that much of a 4-wide situation, but Andrew Williams a little bit up in the Michael Young right there. And Williams just clips the 0-2. That's all on Williams there. Tough break for Michael Young making his first career start, getting spun out like that. And then it just shuffles everyone around. McClure tries to react. Grattan gets into the 80, and look at the 80 machine. Good save here. Add to Joshua Brown. But the same cannot be said for Vinny Scholes there, getting into the 4 of Christian Vargas. And you're going to see right here, if we can get to Christian Vargas. There. This isn't a good shot, as he gets spun right into that inside wall. Right on the same spot that Kyle Busch had that incident a few years ago, only that's now all paved. It didn't really help in the favor of Vargas, because he lost control going into that wall right there. The amazing thing is, though, he's going to still be able to continue here tonight. But I don't think he's going to contend for the win after that hit. Tough break for all those guys involved. A bit of damage there on Baltazar Steep and Stuart Grattan. It's the nature of the game here at the Daytona International Speedway.
Here we go. The trouble spot and the trouble situation. 4-wide never works. And you see the 0-2 and the 53 make contact, and around goes the 0-2 of Young, and watches for just a couple of small taps and sends Vargas around and a huge hit into the inside wall. I want to say about 125 to 135 miles an hour into the inside wall, and that was a bad angle to hit. Tough way for Vargas, because I thought he was kind of a good shot here tonight, but now that Ford machine is absolutely destroyed here at Daytona.
Tough break there for Christian Vargas, but the race must go on. Christian Master won the race back to the line with Joe Rutkowski right behind him. We'll have to see if he can hold these guys off and get another Daytona race victory on his resume. Let's go ahead and see what happens on the restart here in the Daytona 250. We're back here at the Daytona International Speedway after the big one. Not actually taking anybody out, as you will see. Christian Vargas back out there in the 4 machine, remaining on the lead lap. So good job by that team getting him back out there. The only downside is I don't think that's going to go too fast on this racetrack. Hope you're having a good Valentine's Day as well. Showing our love of racing here. That's what we love on the channel, of course. But thankful for all you guys here watching here tonight, Sprint Series Night in America. Also like to shout out, I haven't talked to him in a while, but my good friend Alex Bonks, I know today's his birthday. So, happy birthday, Mr. Bonks, our good friend of the channel for many years. Christian Master won the Valvoline 400 last August under the lights here at Daytona. He's going to get another Daytona trophy here tonight. With Joe Rutkowski, Joshua Brown, Corey Case, Avon Murray. That's the top 5. Everybody still on the lead lap here at Daytona, including Vargas with all of his damage. It's going to be interesting with 11 to go at the line here in this Daytona 250.
11 laps to go. Who's going to get the first victory of the night? Here at Daytona. Of course, we got Sprint Series 9 in America, and then later tonight it's the Power Truck Series Season Open. I hate to pluck that, but...
You can do it, man. It's all good. I plug my stuff when I'm calling your races all the time, so...
But yeah, first win of the night is on the grabs, and 0.3 wide.
How about Joshua Brown? Now, you like seeing that. And we haven't reviewed the replay yet, but you were telling me that I think he went sideways on that wreck there and then managed to finish 3rd across the line. Well, now he's going for the race lead. Meanwhile, here comes the 96 Felicity Mendoza all of a sudden up here. Where did she come from? Alonso? And how about Santiago Labarito in the 5 as well on this inside lane? So we're going to bring in some new faces up front here. That field's going to be split up just a little bit. Andrew Williams, who was caught up in that accident, he's going to be a little bit off the pace. And so will Juan Romero and Stuart Grattan. Obviously, they were caught up. And then you got Michael Young and Baltazar Steep. And then the 4. Oh, brother. Oh, brother.
That's not
Remember the Daytona 500 last year. Those lap cars were much off the pace. And it's going to be fascinating to see how that ends up shaking things out. There's the nature of the way the racing goes here at Daytona. And you know what? It's going to be fun to see how these guys maneuver around the lap cars. Rutkowski managing to stay up front for now. And then you got the 80 of Joshua Brown trying to steal this one. But how about Alonso in the 50? A lot of strong drivers around Joshua Brown right here, who is trying to hold on. and races away into the Daytona 500. The good thing is he's got a couple of owners he's racing with here, so he's in a position right now to be running on Sunday in the Great American Race.
Yeah, without doubt.
Oh no! He just blew up!
No!
I'm out. I'm out, guys. That's like the ultimate jinx right there. You know, when we have the Superstar Series back in January, Andrew was calling, I think, the South Boston race with me. He picked Stuart Gratton to win, and Stuart Gratton ended up wrecking out like 5 laps in. I was literally just talking about how Joshua Brown could have a shot at the Daytona 500, and then boom, he blew up, and he split the pack up as well, as we got Christian Master now back to the inside of Joe Rutkowski for the race lead, and the 25 of Michael Lewis is up here as well.
See what he did, he changed my driver. That's a very tough play for Joshua Brown. Of course, he was in a position in the 500, and unfortunately, Burger King Ford toasted a little bit last week, and this week it just got completely burnt here at Daytona. Tough break for Joshua Brown. Tough break for the field as well, because that split everybody up, but they should be able to catch back up here, as long as they stay double file, and maybe a little bit of single file. And we still have, well, we will have them catch it back up eventually, but that is a heartbreak for that 80 machine.
Well, these guys are going to rejoin back in a group. I think these guys are going to be able to regain the draft on these top 5. Meanwhile, they're going to be closing in on Vargas here very soon. Oh boy. You can tell he's going slow. Hey, it's all part of the fun here at Daytona. Hey, Christian Masters led the most laps in this race, looking to get a bonus point towards the championship for that. And he comes into this race a little bit deep in the standings right there, I believe in 12th position. But a huge opportunity for him to gain maximum points and have some momentum going into Atlanta next week. Here we go. They're shuffling. They're getting ready for this 4 machine. They're going to hit him in the corner. Here comes Michael. Oh, my! That was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. Michael Lewis there going to take the race lead, and he got some guys who are majorly getting held up there. Dylan Matthews, Chris Reynolds, there's nowhere for them all to go. And there is, well, that 4 machine should not have gone back out there considering the hit he took. But Michael Lewis, Corey Case now to the inside. How about Andrews Racing again? When we were in New Smyrna, they went 1-2. They might very well go 1-2 here tonight, as well as Master and Corey Case still very much in contention for this one. Tough break for Joe Rutkowski, still held up. Brandon Nelson as well, and Labarito in the 5. All trying to get around this 4 machine. You know, that might not be the last time that we run into him either.
Well, this has not been the season that Menez Racing has wanted in the Sprint Series. The A has had a rough start, and out of 92 absolutely got blocked by the 4 machine. And I'm going to go back up to the formula with Case here. I did pick him as my pick here tonight, and sometimes I get them right more often than not, I feel like. And Corey Case could have a shot to get his first win here tonight.
There's a very good chance you could pull it off here at Daytona. Same goes for Michael Lewis, though. Both of those drivers looking for their first career wins. Christian Master, I don't know. He's looking for his 16th, 15th, somewhere around there. He was in the very first race on the channel in that Daytona 500 and actually led at the white flag before Jesse Turner went to victory lane that day. I know Christian Master wants to be in the Daytona 500 again to have an opportunity at finally getting that Great American Race when he could have won it 9 years ago. I know that's definitely been bugging him all these years, as he's got an opportunity of winning here tonight, which will be huge for him. But he's got his teammate Corey Case, Michael Lewis there, and you know, these guys here, I don't know if they're going to be able to actually regain the time on the top 3. We'll have to see if they're sniffing enough of a draft here, but I don't think they are. That's a massive gap to close in 4 laps. They're essentially going to need a caution right now, or these guys slowing them up. Baltazar Steep there in the 0-2 of Michael Young, and Master gets held up by the 88. And then Steep's going to go down and slow up Michael Lewis.
That's exactly what Fourth on Bat wants to see, slow him up a little bit, but eventually they're going to catch up with those two as well, so I don't know. It's going to be very interesting.
Master's all by himself now in this 56 machine. Something else, what we've seen here tonight in this Daytona 250. These guys have shuffled all over the place on this racetrack tonight. You got the 96, though. Felicity Mendoza trying to race her way into the Daytona 500, but Skylar Taylor trying to race her way into the Daytona 500. And then you got Alonso, who's in the middle of all this as well, trying to close in on these race leaders. And you know what? They might have a shot, because Masters all by himself here. And Alonso is coming really fast in that number 50 machine. And Taylor's got some momentum as well. This is wild stuff here at Daytona. Wild stuff, no doubt about it. Alexander Rowe held up by the O2 machine right there, Michael Young. You got Stuart Gratton, and you know what? They might end up running into the 4 again as well before this thing is all said and done. But these guys are going to get in the line. They're going to close in on Master, and Alonso might have the best shot at winning this race. It's going to be 2 to go next time here in the Daytona 250 for Christian Master, who's led the most laps in this race, but will he get the most important one? That is the big question.
The races that we have seen here in Florida to kick off the Sprint Series in 2024 have been fantastic. Homestead was great, New Smyrna was great, and this one is shaking up to be a great finale with a great finish here. Alonso all of a sudden to the race lead, but can hang on for 1.5 laps at Daytona. What a Sprint Series night in America this has been.
Michael Lewis back in position to possibly win. Skylar Taylor as well. I know they want to get one. Corey Case is here. So right now, those 4 guys, it would be Lewis, Taylor, Case, and Master. Mendoza might have a shot at getting around Master for that last transfer spot as Michael Lewis takes the lead on the last lap of the race. White flag in the air here in the Daytona 250. Will Michael Lewis hold on? Or will Taylor or Corey Case go to victory lane? They're going to run in the lap traffic again on this lap, and they're going to do it right here. That's Vargas in the 4, and nowhere for anyone to go. Corey Case gets around him in the 57. Wow. And this is going to shuffle everyone around here as they're stuck behind Stuart Gratton, and Corey Case is out of here in the 57, and that might be enough for him to pull this race victory off here tonight.
How about that? My pit might be able to steal this one here. Can Corey Case hang on to 3 and 4? I think he's going to get here.
Yeah,
not even close.
Normally, a gap like that is something you don't want, but on the last lap, I think it's perfectly fine. Corey Case, first career win on the channel, and in stunning fashion, he goes to victory lane in the Daytona 250. And it's the second time that car has gone to victory lane already this season. Michael Lewis is going to be in the Daytona 500. So will Skylar Taylor. And Dylan Matthews with the last transfer spot. Where did she come from? All of a sudden there in 5th as Alonso finishes in the 3rd position, and that has got to hurt for Christian Master. Finishes 9th. He will not have an opportunity at running on Sunday. Corey Case. I will be honest with you guys. I kind of throw away these Daytona races a little bit. But you know what? It's part of the deal here at Daytona now. This guy's getting in the way. And you know what? That was some fun racing. Didn't know how it was going to play out until the end. Corey Case gets it for Andrews Racing. John Andrews, a second owner's win already here in the Sprint Series. How about that for him? Some solid stuff there out of that team.
Congratulations to Corey Case. And hey, luckily time for him. Picking him was a great good luck charm for him in that 57, and unfortunately for Master, he was in 4th. He dominated this race, and that's just the way that cookie crumbles at Daytona. He can be lean and falling back to 9th in 2 laps here. So unfortunate for Master here at Daytona.
Well, Dylan Matthews, she got the fastest lap in this race, and that might have been near the end there when everyone was just scrambling around. She got a good draft there, I think. Felicity Mendoza with the 2nd fastest time, and then the 92 there of Brandon Nelson with the 3rd quickest time. Of course, this will be organized based on who signs up for next week's race at Atlanta. Take a look at the rest of the fastest lap results right there, and take a look and see where your driver may have finished in that regard in regards to the starting lineup next week. And then all the way down to the 99 there of Aaron Abel with the slowest time of the day. My, oh my. I tell you what, it's always something here. Normally you do not see a merge into victory like that at Daytona, but That 4 machine of Christian Vargas was going a little bit too slow, that's for sure, but that's just the nature of it here at Daytona sometimes, and especially now that we have the restrictor plates on here, it's gotten really bad. The whole idea when we put the restrictor plates on was to avoid situations like that from happening, and it got worse, but you know what? It's gotten interesting. We'll see going forward in the next year if we'll make a change or not, but we're keeping it for Sunday's race in the Daytona 500. And how about Corey Case, Michael Lewis, Skylar Taylor, Dylan Matthews? Of course, Taylor and Matthews, they've got some experience. But for Corey Case and Michael Lewis, huge opportunity for both of those drivers. Absolutely by far the biggest race either of them have run in their career. And what's your advice to them going into Sunday racing in the Daytona 500?
Well, to Michael Lewis, just try and survive and be up there at the end. For Corey Case, if he does what he did here tonight, he could go for 2 in his career and win the Daytona 500. But overall, just try to survive. It's a long race, double the length as this race was, and just have fun. But go after the win and try not to set a bad example for yourself with any other full-time drivers in case you end up making more starts in the Cup Series throughout the year.
Going to be very interesting to see what these drivers can do, and of course they got 36 full-time Cup guys to go against as well, and you know they're going to be going for it quite a bit. Well, what a race it was here at Daytona. Next week we got the Georgia 150 from Atlanta, and it's not going to be a packed race there per se. We of course modify that track a little bit, but it's going to be a lot of fun there. And sign up for that race 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. Of course, this race started at 6:45 for a reason, to give us enough time so that this wasn't overlapping with signups going on tonight. But hey, looking forward to see who makes it in. Will that curse continue? Will Corey Case miss next week and we'll have another race where the winner is not in the next race? I don't know. But we do know that Dylan Matthews will start on the pole next week regardless, because she's a full-time driver here in the Sprint Series, so she's guaranteed to start on the pole position at Atlanta next week in the Georgia 150. But hey, Daytona 500 this Sunday at noon Eastern Time right here on AG, the channel. Going to be a lot of fun seeing how it all ends up shaking out in that one, and it's a huge deal to win that race, and we're going to see who pulls it off. So many great drivers in the field. It's going to be fun. That's all I got to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Corey Case getting his first career win on the channel here tonight at Daytona. And here are the point standings for the Herr Sprint Series after 3 races. We'll see you guys next week from Atlanta as we run the Georgia 150. And the season's still just getting started here. Having a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Here are the point standings. And on behalf of Nathan Stapleton, I will see you guys later.